Here we go. You guys can hear me good?
Yes.
Great. All right. Yes, I'm rocking my Hammer and Chisel Get Hammered shirt, and I realize I literally have to leave right from here to go to preschool. This will be fun. This will be fun. Except on the back, it does redeem myself because it says Master's Hammer and Chisel on the back.
I like it.
I'm not a bad mom. I'm not a bad mom, I promise. Thanks for joining in, you guys. Today is, what is it? It is August 9th already. We're already August 9th, 2016. This is our all coaches August call. And today, rather than really like diving in right now to things that we learned in Summit, I wanted to take a moment to talk to the coaches that are brand spanking new, and to talk to the coaches who have been in the game for about a year, maybe a year and a half. I wanted to take a moment to talk to everybody with respect to now what? Oh, I just saw my background. Aw, look at that guy. Look how long my hair was. So I wanted to do a few things today. We're going to hear from a few people. I'm sure one of those people will hop on board here in the next few minutes. We're going to do this. We are going to, I'm going to screen share in just a second. If I'm not looking at the screen, because I'm looking at my notes. All right. So here's the agenda. We are going to how and why go pro. I'm using that word kind of loosely, but you'll write that down real soon. Go pro. And now what? We'll also hear from Audrey. I'm going to mute you if you're in a loud area. There you go. I think I muted you, Leslie. You got some sweet little baby sounds coming from your world. We'll hear from Audrey, who is my first coach. She is running her own team, Holy Fit. We'll hear from the reason why we are all here. The reason why we are all here. I'm going around and meeting you guys. Oh, it's still not working. Who did I? I hear really sweet. Mute. Not me. That's funny. Okay, keep going. The reason why we're all here is because of one person. One person who invited me to be a coach, and her name is Michele Park. Can you hear me? You guys good? Thumbs up if you can hear me. Sweet. So we're gonna hear from her a little bit later about how this all can be a reality. Then we're going to do some open session and some questions. I got a giveaway, and then I also have a challenge to have a giveaway after our meeting. So let's jump in. Now it's so quiet that I muted you guys. Lower hand, chat. Okay, there we go. Feel free to always chat if you guys are muted, so we all can communicate. All right. Holy Fit, We Inspire is the title of today's call. And let's just dive in. So I'm not sure if you know this. I'm sure that you do, but I don't know if maybe we all grasp it, because I didn't really grasp it. Your health, fitness, and finance business that you all are in, all of us on this call, it's a network marketing business. We are all in the profession of network marketing. Whether we choose to use it or not is the key. So here's some quick tips and some kind of advice that I've learned along the way about network marketing. The best way to thrive in this new economy, which we're all living in right now, is network marketing. So what that means for you as an entrepreneur is that you can receive all the benefits of a traditional business without the typical risks. So there's no cap on your income, because obviously Beachbody wants you to make as much money as you possibly can. There's a catch though. There's a catch to all that money to be made. There's a catch. And the catch is this, and the catch is something we all are going through right now at this very moment. The catch is this: you must accept a temporary loss of social esteem, not self-esteem, from ignorant people. For a while, people still living in and trying to function in this old, employee state of mind, 40-hour work week system, they're going to think less of you. Yes, you're selling the dream of health and fitness and growth and boosting people's confidence by being healthier, but you're still in a network marketing type position. They're going to think less of you. And I'm sure you've already had that come your way from time, maybe it was today, maybe it was yesterday, maybe it was when you first became a coach. The reason why is this: we all know someone that's joined network marketing. I know some, I did it. I've done it before. Maybe you've already done it before. Maybe you're doing 2 network marketing gigs. Somebody who we talk to knows someone that has been in network marketing, and they didn't join it as a profession. They joined it because they were hoping to get lucky, strike it big. They didn't start a real business. So they were hoping to strike it rich with little effort and no real training. So, that allure of the word network marketing, the allure of being paid for someone else's efforts is powerful, but it's often badly misunderstood. So for people that look down on you or stop following you or think that, you're just in this business because, you're just trying to sell me Shakeology. Because they know someone that got burned. They're quote unquote burned by network marketing because they know someone who thought that network marketing was going to be their lottery ticket, and they didn't end up winning. So if they didn't end up winning, they didn't strike it rich, who are they going to blame? They blame marketing and everything that's attached to it. The deal with this is big. I get this a lot. Oh God, you're a part of Beachbody. Oh, it's just one of those network marketing. I used to turn those people away, and I used to ignore them. When I've learned, that's the opposite of what we should be doing. If you embrace the ignorance, the world is yours. I am learning that very, very quickly. Now what? So what if you do that? What if you embrace the ignorant? Okay, I get it. Okay, I'm going to start listening to somebody who tells me that, what you're doing is kind of cool, but gosh, you're part of a pyramid scheme, which isn't even legal. So, Team Beachbody pays unlimited income to people who can help the blind see, who can educate the ignorant, and who can build a community of like-minded people. Don't fight the ignorant. Don't ignore the ignorant. Understand them and go from there. I teach tools that I've learned along the way about overcoming objections. Those exact same tips on overcoming objections ring so true with the people, the naysayers of the network marketing. The reason why you're afraid to present the coach opportunity to someone is because you're afraid of the person coming back and saying, I tried that once. It sucked. It didn't work for me. That is what we're afraid of. We're afraid of the no. But guess what? Remember what works. Feel, felt, found is the same thing when it comes to overcoming objections of people that are fighting against this network marketing. Network marketing, sorry if I'm talking so fast. I just have so much I want to get through and so much I want to share. So it probably sounds like I'm diarrhea of the mouth. I'll try and slow down. Network marketing isn't perfect, right? But guess what, guys? It's better. You're in the right place. It's just better, and that's reality. So what I want you to do today is this. This is what I want today's call to be about. I really want you guys. I got 2 chats. I really want you guys to go grow. Yes, Lisa. Talk, Lisa. It's funny, and it says raising hand. I like it. Hi, Lisa.
Hi.
Hi, what's up?
Not much. I'm just trying to get it to come on. It keeps going in and out. Sorry.
Oh yeah, no problem. You're good. You're good. What I really want to do today is it doesn't matter what capacity you want to rock this business in, but I want you to go professionally. Do it professionally. Whether you're a stay-at-home mom, whether you have 3 kids, whether you have 5 kids, 1 kid, 0 kids, it doesn't matter. You can still do this professionally. So what does that mean? Oh, professionally. Some people might mean, oh, I have to dedicate 8 hours a day and 5 days a week, and no, that's not it at all. What I found with how I started running my business, when I decided to make it my profession, is when things started to turn around. Decide to go professionally means this. It's time to fine tune your craft. It's time to fine tune your craft. You are already proof that the products work. I've seen every single one of your photos, your selfies with your bright ass smiles and how great you feel. You're already walking, talking, skipping proof that all of these programs work, and they work really, really well. Now it's time to understand what it means to promote your health and fitness business in a smart, heart-led way. A way to do this is make sure that you guys are saving the Platinum Presenters website to your desktop. Platinum Presenters is our up line team of the top coach, the very first coach in this network. I don't care if you can't get into that 30-day training. Whatever, that's fine. Yes, you can sign up for it and wait and cross your fingers that you get in. But guess what? There are so many opportunities in that back office and in Platinum Presenters for trainings. And I'm going to give you a really awesome one today, like an incredible one today that you can utilize, if and when, and today, which you will, when you decide to go pro. So Platinum Presenters, there's a good way to fine tune your craft. Oh, an easy way to fine tune your craft. Here's another way to go pro. Stop being a salesman and start your dream business. Okay, so how and when and why and getting people to join your challenge groups, that's great. That's your bread and butter. That's amazing. That's life-changing. But what about talking about coaching and what it's done for you? What about marketing that on your, public or private social media pages? We love to share how we feel, and we love to tell people, to join our challenge groups and what it's done for us. But guess what? Those challenge groups, you were leading those, and you were leading those because you were a coach. So sharing what coaching has done for you is another way to help plant little tiny baby seeds that start to grow and grow inside the minds of all our awesome followers on social media. Another way to go pro is our favorite word. It starts with an I. Invite. Invite, invite, invite. That's scary, 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 scary word. I would not be here if it weren't for Michele Park. If Michele Park did not come to me with this coaching opportunity, I wouldn't be here, and either would you. If you look at it from that standpoint, it helps make it a little bit more of a, like, on the top of your priority list if you look at it like that. Guess what, guys? This isn't a cult. This isn't a scam. This isn't a pyramid scheme. This is simple, organic, amazing, amazing opportunity, but only if you practice your approach. Practice, practice, practice. Practice saying what you do and why you do it and how it makes you feel. That will help make your invite so much easier. Practice. I stand in front of the mirror like I'm doing an elevator pitch. Hey Serena, what's going on? I meet someone randomly at yoga. Within 5 minutes, they know what I do. They know what I do, and they know why I do it, because I speak with so much like, oh my God, I got to talk about it because it's so incredible. But it took me a while to figure out what I did, right? It takes a while to be like, okay, wait, I'm a coach. I lead challenge groups. Yeah, there's one. But what else do I do? okay, so I know that I'm addicted to the high of seeing other people succeed. I know that I love helping people reach their health, their fitness, and their financial goals. How does that make me feel? God damn it, that makes me feel really amazing. It's so fulfilling to watch someone else hit a goal. That's what I do. And I do it because it helps make my life richer in happiness. Yes, richer in my bank account, but more fulfilled in anything that I've ever done in my entire life. So another step, another key tip to going pro. Are you taking this? Is this your part-time gig? Great, awesome. Is this your second job? Awesome. Is this your third? Are you a busy mom? Yes, 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 yes. It doesn't matter. You can professionally rock at this coaching business if you simply give yourself some goals. And that's where we come into talking to Audrey in just a few minutes. Audrey and I came up with something really cool that we stole from her husband, James. I'm sure he doesn't mind. To give us a lighthearted approach on goals and how to look at them and how to achieve them. So I'm not muted, right? I feel like it's just like I'm hearing myself echo. Thumbs up, Tony. Can you hear me? Awesome. Okay. So we came up with near and far rocks. Obviously, you throw a rock, you can see it. You throw it far, you can't see it. Near and far rocks. Near goals and far goals. So I want to talk really, really briefly about how to write down some goals, what kind of goals to have, how to crush them, and how to look at them in respect to people and numbers. So something that I'm going to start implementing for our team and for myself is TPI. TPI. Totally came up with this because I thought about the three main things that help create a successful business. A happy business, a successful business. But guess what? These three things can apply to whether you want to put 1 hour a week into this business or 8 hours a day into this business. Everyone can follow this. And if you start out small and you still follow it, your business will still grow. Telling you. So TPI, you've got your training goals. Training goals. So every month you write down a number. How many times are you going to watch a training video? How many times are you going to train yourself to fine tune your craft? Not personal development. Yes, that's needed. That's something totally separate. Not even a part of, near rocks or far rocks. Training goals. I've got to do this for myself. I don't know. We have just scratched the surface of what we have before us. So, for me, I have to do 5 new trainings a month in order to start and keep up with learning everything new. So how many new trainings are you going to do a month? Those videos in the back of Platinum Presenters, they were like 10 to 15 minutes long. I promise you, you will walk away with a wealth of information that you didn't know. And sometimes you'll just be, and you'll remember something new. But 9 times out of 10, it's something brand new that you didn't know. And I already have your training for the week because I have this really amazing video that talks about placement, how to strategically place and develop your team. It is awesome. Awesome. I will post the copy of that when I post this meeting. Training goals is T. People goals is P. People goals. Okay, super easy. How many new people are you going to help? How many new people? Well, for us, it's kind of easy because we can look at it in terms of Success Club, right? We know that we sell challenge packs because those are for new people. Challenge packs are somebody that is just brand new and they're ready to do a program and they're ready to try Shakeology. It's easy to look at it in terms of that, but people goals. How many new people are you going to help? Simple as that. 10, 5, 2. Are you a super busy mom and you have 18 jobs, so you're going to write 1 for next month? That's fine. Have a goal. Have a goal. Write something down. Invite goals. That scary, scary word, invite goals. How many people are you going to have the coaching talk with? How many people each month are you going to check off that, hey, I had this talk with Sally. Hey, I had this talk with Tony. Hey, I had this talk with Audrey. Every single month. I'm telling you to sit down, write it down, hang it up, and cross off each number when you follow through is a game changer. You can do this if you break it down. And if you start to hit those goals of training, people, and invite, your business is just going to keep growing. Your network is going to keep expanding. Your bank account is going to keep growing. And the amount of people and the amount of lives that you're changing, you already know it's going to keep growing. So TPI. Few quick tips, and then I'm sending it off to Audrey. Training. Where do you get your training? Platinum Presenters, Coach Basics. Done. People. How do you find new people to help? Quick tip. Every day in life, not just on Facebook, but in life, get out of your comfort zone and find a new person. I didn't say friend, because we don't always need, a ton of new friends, but find a new person. If it's saying hi to the preschool, the front lady at preschool, or the person that cut your kid's hair, or adding somebody on Facebook that you went to their garage sale, that is how this happens. That is how you create new opportunities. Get out of your comfort zone. We're stuck in our own little bubble, and we're thinking, God, we can't, there's nobody new to help because I've hit them all. I know everybody. I already talked to everyone every day. Met 3 new people today, and I've only been out of the house twice. And quick tips of inviting. My favorite thing to do with the new coach talk is starting off by saying, how much do you love Shakeology? Some of you know that when I sell a challenge pack to somebody, I write in my calendar 3 weeks from the day that they ordered Shakeology. I put a note 3 weeks later, and I write their name, and I write Shakeology by it. So I know that they've been drinking Shakeology for 3 weeks. This is my moment to check in and ask how much they love it. And I don't say, do you love Shakeology or do you like it? I ask how much they love it. I don't ask yes or no. I ask how much do you love it? 9 times out of 10, that creates the best way to dive into coaching, because they respond with, oh my God, it's amazing. And there we go. And that is my segue into the coach talk. That's my, we can share with what works for you guys, but those are my tiny tips of what work for me. I also use my next challenge. I might not have a date in mind, but I use my next challenge group as a trigger puller for them to explain my story of what coaching has done for me and how I got a challenge group coming up, so we got to get people on board, so we got to get signed up quick. Okay. I talked. I got hammered. I am going, Michelle's laughing. Yeah, I got hammered, but it's not for real. On day 2 of the 21 Day Fix. So I'm going to unmute Audrey, and she's going to dive a little bit further about our near rocks and far rocks and how we can move it. I'm going to show you.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm hearing a lot of background noise, so it might be someone else's phone who's unmuting it. But
So find Audrey and click on her.
okay. Well, first of all, I'm also getting hammered with my milk in a Heineken glass. How funny is that? That was totally unplanned, by the way. Anyways, thank you, Serena, for giving me a few minutes to talk about my husband's philosophy of near rocks, far rocks, which he talked to me about several years ago, because I'm such a planner, but I can oftentimes really get in my own way by thinking like too high a level or just too far in advance. And so he talked to me about this philosophy that he learned at work of near rocks and far rocks, thinking about things in much smaller time increments, and then also still seeing what's out in the distance. So when we talked about near rocks and far rocks, I talked specifically with Serena about my own. I said, you know what, my far rock, because I think you should start with that first, but then back yourself up. My far rock for me is by the end of the year. I think that's a very appropriate far rock for everybody. December 31st, 2016, which really isn't that far away. I can't believe it. Is that I would really love to be 2-star diamond. And I wrote it down. It's in my goal book, and I had Serena sign it with me at lunch at Summit, which was amazing, by the way, and I can't wait for all of you, hopefully so many of you, to be there next year. But that's my goal. I wrote it down. I got to make it happen. But there's a lot of things I need to do to get there, and that thought alone can sometimes overwhelm myself to the point where I just kind of start to lose motivation because I'm just too overwhelmed. So I have to break it down. So a great near rock for me is, in order to get to 2-star diamond, I need to come up with 2 diamonds. That means I need to work on making some new people emerald and help building up those people who are emerald. So to the end of this month, my first near rock, 30 days I think is a great goal, is that I'd like to see 1 or 2 more coaches become emerald. I'd also like to recruit 3 to 5 new coaches within 30 days. Also very doable. All by doing everything that Serena just talked about. So she really talked about a lot of things that I would talk about, so I'm not going to repeat those. But for me, that's a great near rock for me. And I'll continue to do that every month until I get to my far rock. And if it's not working, I'll change something up. But I wanted to kind of tailor this quickly to those who are maybe brand new coaches, or maybe coaches who have been doing this for a while but maybe not consistently, and you're just wanting to restart and revamp. So what I kind of came up with for my own team, Holy Fit, is something I wanted to do as kind of like a little training exercise, is kind of a near rocks, far rocks, but more near rocks, 3-week kind of thing. And you can totally do this for yourself. And I'll post about this, but I'm just going to glance over it. So each week is kind of something different, but building upon each of those little goals. First of all, if you're new or if you're restarting, you really need to establish your social media presence. Serena talks about this all the time. And one thing that I want you to just write down and highlight and leave somewhere where you can see it all the time, and I took this away from Summit and I just love it, is trust is built by being consistent. You must be consistent in everything that you do. And it's not just trust with coaching, it's trust with your friends, it's with your family. If they can't keep track of like what you're doing or what you're trying to accomplish, they're slowly going to stop paying attention. But especially with coaching, your message, your story, your journey, it should be consistent. Yes, it's going to always be evolving, but it should stay consistent. And that includes your social media presence. So what I would do for the first week, if you just want to start a near rock challenge for yourself, is to establish a social media presence. Is that going to be on Facebook? Is it going to be on Instagram? One of which you're already using, but pick one and master it. Like, that's where you're going to be. Establish your message. Stay on point. Something else they talked with us about is picking or thinking about 5 to 7 things that you can be consistent about. So those are things that you're typically doing.
Oh no. Wait for
My family and my friends. I like shopping. I like wine when I'm allowed to drink it. Right now I can't. But those are all things that kind of make me who I am. And I'd like to think I'm pretty consistent about sharing those 5 to 7 things with the people who are, interested in reading about what I'm doing. And my message consistently revolves around that. I try not to stray too far, because then people are kind of like, what is it that she's talking about? I can't keep track of it. Is she like really into her fitness, or is she not? What is it that she's trying to tell me? So establish your message. Think of 5 to 7 things that you're consistently sharing, and then make sure you're sharing your story all the time. So for that first week, just kind of sit down and think about what your story is. You think you don't have a story? You do. For example, just quickly, my story isn't necessarily a weight loss story. It was a journey to health and wellness. I'm consistent about that. I will always stick to why I got started. So think about your why as well. So first week, think about your story, the things that build that, and get ready to share it. And then get ready to share it all the time. And so week 2, get past scratching the surface. Once you've thought of your 5 to 7 things, share your story again. The first week you may have said one thing. The second week, maybe incorporate more of those 5 to 7 things, so people start to see more of who you are and get used to seeing the things that you're going to share on kind of a daily, a weekly basis. But you'll just get used to sharing it and keeping consistent with that. I also suggest that second week, try to do something that's helps you get uncomfortable. So if you've never like made a video before, make one. You don't have to like share it with anybody. Maybe just send it to one of your fellow coaches or a friend and teach them something. Like teach them how to make a sandwich. I don't care, but just try it. Just try it. And it's something I encourage my coaches to do all the time. And I know it's super nerve-wracking. The first time I did it, I thought I was going to puke, but then I did it and I was like, I really liked that. And now I can't do a challenge group without doing like a zillion videos and trying something new, but it's just the most personal way to interact with your challengers, because like you can post words all day and hide behind them, but what gets people to come back is knowing who you are and being consistent about that and seeing your smiling face and your voice and hearing those words of encouragement. It's all about being personal. So get uncomfortable and get more personal and try making a video. And that third week, you're going to start implementing those things by you started building your story. You've thought about the things that make you who you are and being consistent about that. And then what you need to do is be public about that. So during this time, I encourage you to think about creating a like page. We've talked about that before. A like page, which is public, people can join it. You can add people to it. Treat it as your the place that's kind of like your journal, where you're just telling about the good, the bad, the ugly, the awesome, about your story, about being a coach, whatever it is. But that's where you can share those uncomfortable videos or whatever. But those are people initially who you're going to start with who you want to join you. And you're constantly inviting them. Create a join me list, as I like to call it. These are people that have shown some interest along the way. Or, there's something that we have in common. We haven't talked yet, but I know that she'd want to join or he'd want to join. Add them to the join me list. Add them to your like page. And then use that place as to where you can be consistent. It doesn't always have to be on your personal page. Use your like page for all of that if you're worried about kind of being too overwhelming on your personal page. But anyways, for that first month, those first 30 days working on your first mirror rock, you really need to work on being consistent and figuring out who you are and what you want people to know and building trust with people. I see some questions popping up. How many times a week do you suggest posting on social media, and how much should you post personal versus life page? Those are really good questions. Serena, you may have some input on this as well. Personally, I need to be much better about being consistent about how much I'm posting. I have so much going on over here that I find that I need to get better about making sure that's always part of my constant to-do list. I know some people that post 4 or 5 times a day, and I know some people just post once a day, and some who just post a few times a week. But I think that bottom line, whatever you're posting about should be consistent to who you are in your messaging. I would say that the more that you're posting, I would say at least every day, a couple times a day, the more you're going to pop up on people's news feeds, and they're going to see you, and they're going to be reminded of what you're wanting to do and what you're accomplishing, and it'll spark their interest in wanting to join you, because that's what you want people to do. You want them to join you in this journey. And then how much should you post personal versus like page? I think that's kind of up to you. Serena, what do you say?
I typically share both. I take my business post to my like page, and then I share it to my personal page. I think the top 3 times, the 3 times of the day that I think are the best is, between 6 a.m. and 7 a.m., noon, and 9 p.m. So I typically do three posts a day. A lot of the times I really find that the 9 p.m. posts are the trigger puller posts. So the 9 p.m. posts are when I am the most vulnerable, emotional, and either seeking out help or inviting people for me to help them. 9 p.m. is the time that, your babies are asleep, you might be alone, it's dark. This is when some of our, my own insecurities creep in. So you'll find a lot of the times that I ask for your guys' help because I'm feeling down. But then I also remember that there's also somebody else that might need my help. So that's when I remind them of my story and ask them to reach out to me so that I can help them. I think that has been a good time for me to get the most potential from posting.
Yeah, I think if you think about just when you are scrolling Facebook or Instagram,
And somebody else.
like It's usually about the same time every day. You have a break at work, or you're, on the bus or the train, or you're just walking around wherever at work or not at work. Other people are on there too. So kind of think about when you're doing that, and that's a really great time to share something or post something or invite someone or send a message or whatever. But no matter where you're posting, just be consistent about it in whatever format you're always on, like master it. Okay.
Yay, you're the best.
Yeah, so I hope that was helpful, but I think big picture, it's funny, big picture, far rock, is that you just want to give yourself some attainable goals, something you're really shooting for, but then just break it down into smaller steps so that a bigger, further attainable goal doesn't seem so overwhelming. You have to start somewhere to get somewhere. So start with some near rocks, give yourself some goals, give yourself some little steps, which is kind of what I was talking with you about with the 3-week thing to get there. Check off a rock, go on to the next rock.
Perfect. Yeah, that's exactly what we talked about, because Audrey and I tend to be like, we're like, oh my gosh, we get overwhelmed. We're so excited. We want to do so much, and we have so many things that we want to accomplish. And then we're like, oh geez, how are we going to do this? So the TPI, obviously the only way to really hit goals is to have a little bit of training. And the only way to hit goals is to find new people. And the only way to hit goals is to invite new coaches. So to break it down into training people and inviting is such a great way to give yourself your month and work around that and plan your week around that. Like, hey, I gave myself, I wanted to do the coach talk with 5 people, but shit, the month's almost over and I've only done 2. I got to plan some time this week. It helps really hold yourself accountable to growing your business and changing more lives. So thank you, my beautiful Audrey, my twin. I had the most astounding, inspirational week with Audrey. If I just want to get all of you guys together in one room, and man, we could rule the world and change the world. It was so heartwarming, and I can't wait for everybody to be at Summit next year. It was pretty life-changing. So I'm going to switch it over to the one that made this all happen in her beautiful glasses. Switch it over to, what's her name again?
It's the only way I can see.
Wow.
They're not just for looks, even though they're pretty dang cute. But they're not just for looks. If I go like this, you're all blurry. And then you're really close. I just have to say, first of all, that I'm so used to seeing Audrey on Zoom calls, but this is the first time that I have seen her without a glass of wine.
That dang baby bump.
I know. Usually I have calls at this time, and she's like, in the UK with a little happy hour, which is, I don't have. This is water. This will be water. Well, that was such a good call. I feel like we could just say, have a nice day. That was done and you're done for the day. Like, I feel like the perfect ending would be take it and run with it and go. And I was changing my notes as they were talking because I had a lot of the same information that they had. And what a great call. Like, soak all of that information up. I'm writing notes on top of my notes that I'm going to plan on sharing with you guys. So that was all really, really good information. I'll take it and take it a step further and talk to you about how to make it a reality. And the one thing that I want to start off with saying is that if you've been a coach for a while, or if you just started yesterday and you're not quite sure what to do and you already feel overwhelmed, I want today or tomorrow to be your start day. It doesn't matter if you've been a coach for 6 months and you haven't done anything quite with it yet. Whatever day you decide to start, that is your start day. I've been a coach for 7 years. My start day was not the day that I joined. I don't even know what I was doing the day. I didn't even know. We all at that time didn't know what we were doing until about 2 years into the business. This point in the business, you guys are so lucky because it's all duplicatable. Like Serena was saying, with training, don't reinvent the wheel. Platinum Presenters and the Coach Basics is the best way to train yourself and all of your new coaches. Don't do what we did. We tried to invent the wheel, and we had home parties, which are fine. And we Oh gosh, we did some crazy things back then. I don't even want to tell you how we used to solicit, and that sounds inappropriate, back in the day. But it is so much better now, and the community is growing so much more that I want to really kind of talk to you about how to make it a reality, you personally. Because everyone's different. Everyone is unique. Nobody's going to have the same time. Nobody is going to have the same amount of children and same amount of responsibilities. You might have the same amount of children, but not the same amount of responsibilities. Nobody's life is exactly the same. So you need to figure out how to make it work for you. And that's going to take some planning. Like, that's going to take some time management. And I don't know about you, but I am really good at PIO, and I'm really good at creating, but my time management skills are not so awesome. They're not so awesome. So that was one thing that I really struggled with. And I used to think to myself that I can't do it. I don't have the time. I can't put in 5 hours a day. I can't put in 6 hours a day. How am I going to run a business? How am I going to take care of my team? Until I really sat down and started managing my time. And then I realized that it was doable for everybody. And the amount of time that I put into the business is the amount of results that I will see. Does that make sense? So if I decide to put in an hour, then I'm going to probably see an hour worth of results. But if I decide to put in like 2 or 3 hours, then that's the amount of results I'm going to get as well, if I focus during that time. What I kind of want to touch base on focusing, because on your, I want to say your grandmother team, for most of you, we're going to have a power hour. So we're going to start doing power hours once a week. And so I want to talk to you guys a little bit about that, and that will help you kind of sit down and focus and really kind of come to grips with the main things that you need to do as a coach. And then we'll kind of talk about the journey as a coach. And I won't make this long, I promise, because they gave you such wonderful information, and I will reference back to that every once in a while. So I have a sheet that's a critical daily task, and I'll pass it on to Serena if you want it. But write these down. Number one, write down planning. And I put down like a little bit of time, like 5 to 10 minutes. And under planning, I wrote create a calendar. And if you don't have it already, you should have, if you have many teams, maybe think about a mini team calendar. But if not, make a personal calendar for yourself. Like, this is the day I'm going to promote my new challenge group. And this is the day I'm going to do. So you have it in writing. So you're not going, oh my gosh, what day am I going to do it? What hour am I going to do? Who am I going to invite? What am I going to do? You have it in writing, and you don't have to be flustered about that. Write out your goals, just like Audrey said. That is extremely important. And what she was talking about, the far rock and the small rock, that's exactly like verse. I'm sure your husband came up with it first. I'm just going to be honest. But that's exactly like Shalene says, reverse engineer your goals, figure out where you want to go, and then kind of backtrack and figure out what you need to do to get there. And reverse engineering is brilliant when it comes to goals. And then still under planning, write down a task list based on those goals. So that's your reverse engineering. Find out what you need to do to meet those goals. So if your goal is I'm going to be diamond in 3 months, well, you know what you need to do to get to diamond. And if you don't, then you need to reach up to your outline or go on FAQs and find out exactly how to get to diamond. And then write down what you need to do and communicate with your team and communicate with the people that you need to help you reach those goals, because it's not just your goal, it's their goal as well. And like Serena was saying about when you've been in this business for a while, you start to realize you start to realize right away, but you start to realize a lot now when you become seasoned, that it's not about you. It's about the success of your team. It's about helping them reach goals. It's about seeing how happy they are when they reach those goals. And it's just a really, really good feeling to you as a leader. And then when it comes to planning, prioritize. So prioritizing is extremely important when it comes to our business, because as creative types and as people that like to do everything, and I'll be honest, as women who think we should do everything, prioritizing and sticking to those priorities is hard. Because I don't know about you, but sometimes I'll go on Facebook and they have read my mind, you know that, and all of a sudden there's a Thug Life shirt on the side that says sassy since birth, and they pull me off of where I'm going, and they pull me off, and all of a sudden I'm buying 5 shirts on Thug Life for my team. I don't understand how they do it, but they do it. But if I were prioritized, I were to write down my goals and write down what I should be doing and give myself a time. Like, I've been setting a timer on my phone, 15 minutes for planning, boom, and I'm done. And then I go on to, and then my next one is education. So you've got planning, and then you have education. Now, education is your personal development, it's your industry and your product research, so maybe new programs that are coming out, and it's online training, like Serena was saying. And this is all in one day. So I'm talking to you a little bit about a power hour here, but I'm talking to you about a power hour where it could be done 30 to an hour and a half. All this stuff can be done in that time if you focus. And that's a nap. That's a good hour and a half nap. Boom, right there. So when it comes to education, personal development is key. If you don't fill your bucket every day with making yourself better, you will not grow. Okay? And growing as a person and growing as a woman is extremely important to not only your team, but to you, because we forget. We forget that we need to continue growing because we take notice of everybody else around us and we do everything for everybody else. But taking care of yourself and filling your bucket on a daily basis is extremely important. So make sure you do that. In this education, I want you to put down about 30 to 60 minutes. Okay, 30 to 60 minutes. Because you know what? One day there might be a podcast on there from Shalene. You're like, oh my gosh, this is so good. I got to keep listening to it. It's 45 minutes. Or you might go on and listen to one of the trainings or watch one of the trainings Serena posts, and it's 42 minutes. But it's a really good training that you should watch and listen to. So give yourself some time on that. And then some days, you know what? It might be 15 minutes of education. Okay, so that's really important to fill your bucket. And I don't want you to, this is something that a lot of people don't do, and they don't do it because they dread it. They think, I don't have time. But if you focus and you write these things down and you plan out your day and plan out your power hour, you just put it in there and it's a non-negotiable. It's non-negotiable because it makes you better. It makes you better. Number 3, I put down networking. And I'll write you kind of the bullet points I had for networking. I put networking with potential customers. I put networking with potential business partners. That means people that you might want to invite to be coaches. And then I put networking with my prospect list. And my prospect list could be anybody in any realm. Just my whole list of, like, I'll be honest, they say put a list of 100 people together. I don't usually have a list of 100. I have a list of 20 active people, 20, because I can't handle 100. I can handle 100 people on a list, but I can only focus on 20 at once. And I'd rather give quality time to those 20 people than have quantity. Because if I focus and give quality time to those 20 people, more than likely, 5 to 10 of those people are going to say yes, if I give quality time. But if I focus on 100 people and my mind's going a mile a minute and I'm posting all these people and trying to figure out who I was talking to last and what I had said to them, I'm not going to be as focused and they're not going to be as fulfilled with my attention. So I focus on 20 people and I have a constant list. It's on you can't see my board, but there's my board over here. And I have a constant list of 20 people and to watch out for. And Serena's always on the top.
I've seen it and I'm like, who are these names?
She's like, Serena's go, let me write down those names. We'll write down those names. She's always on the top. So focus and have like 20 people. And listen, if you're good with 100 and you know how to focus that way, stay there and stay with 100. But for me, I need 20 people to focus on. And when you're networking, one of the major things that you want to do on your Facebook posts or when you message them or when you private message them or when you reach out to them is add value to their lives in some way. Add value. Not just, hi, how are you doing? Have you heard of my shake? And Serena does this wonderfully, and Audrey was talking about this earlier, that you want to add value to the conversation. So you want to talk about their kids, or you want to tell them that you have something that could help them with a need that they were expressing on Facebook. Anything like that, anything to add value will put you or kind of bump you up a notch in their books. And don't sell them. Don't just sell them. Just explain your journey and talk about your journey, because selling is the first thing that will turn people off. And I know that you guys talk about this quite a lot on your team page, but when you write posts, you guys know when you write posts, not just to put blah, 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 www.teambeachbody.com / buy from me now because I'm selling you. Okay, that's not a real name, coach name. But when you put your whole website on there and you don't engage with them first and give them a reason to even click on the website, the first thing they think is, oh, she's selling, I'm running away. And they run the opposite direction. They do. So that's networking. So I want to touch on networking. Marketing. Marketing has 3 things underneath it. So communicate using 2 social media platforms. And I use Instagram and Facebook. A lot of people use Pinterest and Facebook. Snapchat is great, but Snapchat and Instagram stories are going through turmoil right now. So Instagram, obviously, is owned by Facebook, and Instagram went to buy Snapchat, and Snapchat said, no way, not your. Offered them a crazy amount of money, and they said no. And do you remember when Periscope was on, and Periscope was huge, and then Facebook said, fine, I'm just going to do Facebook Live video, and Periscope is no more. Vine is not really anymore. And so they are predicting that the same kind of thing will happen with Snapchat, which is a bummer. But Instagram Stories still has to kind of up its game when it comes to filters, when it comes to who you can follow. So it has a ways to go. But don't try to focus on too many social media platforms at one time. Listen, unless you have a team that works for you. So you might be thinking, but I see Shalene, and I see Melissa, and I see so-and-so, and all these platforms. They have a team. They have a team of virtual business associates, and they have a team of assistants that help them with all that social media. So just focus on two. Focus on two. And this is like 15 minutes of your power hour or power hour and a half. Phone calls are wonderful. Phone calls are still what people love to get. It's very personal. One-on-one is so super personal. And I'm still one for just seeing a phone call and going, oh, I'll see what their message says, and I'll call them back. But listen, if you leave them a personal message and reach out to them in that way, if you have the ability to do that, then that's probably a really good thing. It knows that you have, it makes them realize that you're more interested than just a text, or more interested just than a private Facebook message. Now, if you have the ability to message them, do it. If not, then the other ways are great too. And then last but not least is just personal emails. And personal Facebook messages are good too, but make it personal. Don't make it generic. Don't make it generic. I made the mistake of on my Facebook Live, on my Facebook like page, that I had a generic response that said, thank you so much for connecting with me. Let me know how I can help you. And I would have people post and just give me comment. Just give me like kudos for something. And they didn't want to know how I could help them. But all of a sudden my direct message came back. And so they know it's not me. So you should have you should be really, really up to date on connecting with those people right away, or have a generic message that doesn't just say, how can I help you? Maybe thank you for connecting. I'm glad we're in this, on this journey together. Something that's a little bit more generic than how can I help you? Didn't really work for me. And I put how can I help you? Not how can. It was a typo. It was just it's not a good at the beginning. And then what I want to say about marketing too is, so for those of you guys that don't know, organic marketing through Facebook is almost null and void, especially on your like page. You will not be at the top of anybody's feed unless they are specifically looking for you. So Facebook ads is where it's at. It really, really is. And listen, I haven't been boosting a lot of my posts because the reach for the videos has gotten to is huge, but at the beginning, I boosted every single one of my posts, every single one of my videos, $5, $10. And that means like 2,000 or 3,000 extra people saw them. And at the very beginning, I had to only boost it for like $2. So the price of that is going up. And what Gary Vee was saying at Summit is the price of this will continue to go up. And the quicker you get in on this, the more people are going to see your post, the more likes you'll have, the more people will be looking for your page. If you wait and months and down the line, it's going to be more expensive, and you're not going to have as much of a reach. So even if you do a fun post, even if it's a picture post, boost it for $5. Do a target market. Look in there and just go for it. Dude, it's not going to hurt. You don't have to sell them anything in the ad. So that's one thing that a lot of people think. They think that they have to do a post and sell something. You don't have to do a post or an ad and sell something, because you know what? Doing that post and doing that video and being funny or being engaging is selling you. And that's what they're buying. They're not going to buy your product yet. They want to buy you. They need to buy into you before they see what product you're selling. So do yourself a favor and just jump, and like in the next couple weeks, just do a Facebook ad, $5, maybe 10 if you're crazy. And then, but look after this, because when you start doing more of these, they're going to come on and they're going to say, Facebook is going to come on and say, oh, this post is doing 85% better than your last. Would you like to boost it for $5 more? And you say, or actually now they're telling me, would you like to boost it for $30 more? And I'm like, no, I don't want to, because it's doing great. Because listen, Facebook is a business. And it's going to become more money-oriented in the next year than we even realized. So keep that in mind for marketing. Follow-ups. The fruit of your journey, of all your work, is in the follow-ups. And I had to learn this the hard way. Because like I said, remember, I'm not organized. And I'm not great at follow-up. But I had to realize this the hard way, because I lost out on a lot of connections and a lot of coaches by not following up. And it was silly. It's silly. So that's where going back to number one and creating your calendar and writing out your goals and writing out lists really comes into play. So follow-ups. Think to yourself, who haven't you heard back from? Who do you have scheduled to follow up with today? Because that should be on your list, like a list of follow-ups. That should be within your power hour. And who just needs a hello? Who just needs a shout out? Not business related whatsoever. Like some of you haven't heard from in a while. Some of you need to just go on there and keep on their radar. Let them know that you are still there and you are still around and you are still willing to help them. Okay, that stuff is really, really important. All of the stuff that I just talked to you guys about can be done in 60 to 65 minutes, 60 to 90 minutes, 60 to 90 minutes. Or you can condense it when you do a shorter personal development and get it done in an hour if you focus. But focus, I'll tell you what, focus is one of the hardest things for Beachbody coaches. It's one of the hardest things. We think that we have to spend 7 or 8 or 9 hours a day on our Beachbody coaching business, and we do not if we are focused. Now, an hour a day is a little small, but you can get it done in an hour a day, right? Remember I said, it's going to, the amount of work you put into it is the amount of work that you're going to receive, or the amount of kudos and the amount of leads and the amount of followers you're going to receive on the other end. So that hour should be minimum. Okay, and if you decide to skip personal development that day, maybe it'll be a little shorter. But all the other stuff you need to try to fit in at least once a day. I wanted to really add a couple things about finding your niche. Find your niche, find your path. Okay, you're not Serena, you're not Tony, you're not Audrey. Find your niche, find your path. It might be PIO, it might not. It might be cleaning, it might not. It might be teenage girls. You're not into teenage girls, but you might have teenage girls, and that might be your niche. You know, it might not be toddlers. So it might not be drinking wine at night. You might be drinking whiskey. I don't know, but something. Find your niche and find your path. And know that this business takes time. It does not happen overnight. So remember what I said at the very beginning? If you start a year from now, a year ago or 6 months ago or a month ago, I don't care. Because your start date is when you commit to yourself and you say, I'm ready to start. I'm really ready to start. And maybe that wasn't last week. Maybe that wasn't the day you signed up. Maybe stuff happened. Maybe you're in a season in your life. And you say, you wake up tomorrow and you go, today's my start day. Then tomorrow's your start day. Okay? We're not defined by the time that we sign up as a coach. God help me. If I was defined by that, I would start 7 years ago and I would have been like pulling my hair out by now. So I had seasons. The first 2 years of my coaching business, I had a major season. I didn't do anything for coaching. I think I paid for my car payment within the first 2 years. Woo! Okay? But that next year I paid for my house payment, and that was a big deal. And then next year I got us out of, you guys probably might have heard my story, but I saved us from losing our house. So it became a big deal to me on my third year. And so find your year, find your time. Find your tribe. Find your tribe. Find the people that are going to come to you for you. Because when you're unique, people will find you and people want what you're giving when you're unique. When you're a cookie cutter, they'll follow you for a while and then they'll follow somebody else who's just like you. So be unique and be you. And keep planting seeds. And when I was saying about, things don't happen quickly, keep planting seeds. I'm hearing right now from people that I talked to 3 or 4 months ago. And you have to understand that people will say no. I talked to a bunch of the top coaches this morning on the wall. That's 5-star and above wall. And I talked to them and we were talking about how many times they were asked to be a coach. And some of the top coaches, the top 20 in the industry, said they were asked like 6 times by 6 different coaches. And then finally they said yes. One person was asked 25 times by Miriam. And then she finally said yes to a Beachbody coach. So it's funny, you might not be the right fit for them and it might not be the right time for them. But when they find you and you're the right fit and it's the right time, it's golden. So keep thinking that. Don't get discouraged by no's. keep planting seeds over and over again. And what I said earlier about just being there and sending a little hello every once in a while, that's extremely important. You kind of keep them on, you keep you on their radar and let them know that you still care. And not in a business sort of way, just in a hi, how are your kids, or something non-associated with business. I just want to end by saying one thing. We talk about in this business about it being here a year from now. Woo! Like that's what we said for the longest time. Be here a year from now. And then at the end of the year, if you were like me, at the end of my year, my first year, I would have said, bye-bye. I don't want to go. This is not for me. It's not what I want to do. I'm not making any money. Forget it. I would, just poke myself with a pencil. I would just throw the pen in or the pencil in or whatever you throw, and towel. I would throw the towel in and I would say goodbye. Okay? If I would have followed that, be here a year from now. But listen, you need to look at this as a journey. And a journey should never end. A health and a fitness journey should never end. So don't be here a year from now. Be here 10 years from now, 10 years from now, 20 years from now. A journey doesn't last a year. A journey lasts a lifetime. Okay? This is not a quick fix. Business for health and fitness, that's what we tell our customers all the time, right? We're not a quick fix for health and health and fitness. And we're definitely not a quick fix for business. But the long-term goal, that far rock, okay, that plan, that goal that you have that's out there, you reverse engineer with this team, and that is completely doable. It's a journey. It's not a year journey. It's not a 10-year journey. It's a lifelong journey. So thank you guys very, very much. I just want to throw that out there. I love you all. I'm so excited that you're on this team. And look out for our power hour that we're going to do on the other team. I'm going to ask for volunteers too, and we're going to do it once a week. And you just jump on and do everything that I said as a team in an hour. Just like this, heads down, working hard.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Michele. That was so
welcome.
And sometimes we just need to remember. We need to go back and remember. We get in our own head of like, okay, I wake up and I do a Facebook post and I do a follow up and I got a challenge group. But we don't think about the day-to-day tasks that really help grow our business versus just keep it right here. So I think we got so much great insight. Aw, some awesome chats going on. I think that if we don't have any, Tony, my daughter saw Michele. Oh, she's famous. Yep. Girl from my workouts. Is that who she is? Yeah, at Summit, someone walked up to us and said, "Oh my God, it's you!" And I was like,
it's me.
I don't know. Who do you think she is? It's Michele Park. Yeah.
I'm just me.
I know. That's what's so crazy cool about this. Is she is just Michele, but she has such a wealth of information, and her journey is so much different than mine. So to bring different perspective to this is, I think, what's going to help us be the most well-rounded team that there is out there. I'm going to do a quick drawing for you guys being on. When I post this call and you have specific questions, let's ask Michele questions offline, since I have to go pick up a tiny human from preschool and go teach Payo. I just want to end with this. And then I'm also going to be shipping one of these books to somebody later today. So I want to end with this, and it's recapping what network marketing is and why you're in the best business that there is. The end. I went right to the end. I've already read this, and you will too. Chapter 12. It's all worth it. Network marketing can be challenging. It's an emotional experience. The ups and downs can be dramatic, but in the end, for so many reasons, it's all worth it. The career you will create if you decide to become a network marketing professional, you will not only create income for yourself, you will create a career. I think about this a lot, he says. Consider the skills that are required to be a doctor, a lawyer, a big company, CEO, or even a world-class musician. You're talking about a high level of skill and a fairly high level of income. Now consider the skills necessary to become a network marketing professional. They're tiny in comparison, and yet many network marketing professionals enjoy a higher level of income and most certainly a higher degree of freedom. So look at it like this. Think about the freedom you can enjoy, the lives you will touch, the people you will meet, the places you will see, and then I start to cry. and most importantly, the person that you will become in the process. So with that, gosh, you guys, thank you for joining me on our longest call ever with what I think had the most valuable information of all. I'm totally going pro. I'm full heart in, professional in this business, and I hope that you join me. And today I'm giving away for everyone on this call. I've been adding to the Team Heart hat a 22-minute hardcore tank top. Very cute, size medium. For everyone on the call, let's see. Dun, da, da, da. Annie! Woo! Annie living in the desert, probably still at my favorite hotel ever. She might be on mute. So guys, I'm gonna
here.
Yay! I'm sending this to you, girlfriend.
Awesome.
Yep, you got it. Okay, guys, we'll do a few questions offline on our page. And I will post this later. Huge thank you to Michelle, who is my life, my love, my upline, your great grandma upline. Huge thank you to Audrey. I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be the type of leader and Team Heart founder without her. Thank you to everyone who's been on this call. I hope we come up with some really cool near rocks and far rocks because I'm pretty sure Team Heart rocks. See you guys later. Have a great day. Let's rock. Yeah. Bye.